All right, picture this. We're standing right on the sun-baked sand of the Giza Plateau, staring up at the ultimate architectural enigma. For thousands of years, this structure has completely baffled historians, scientists, and explorers alike. And today, in this explainer, we're diving deep into a mystery that's literally been hiding in plain sight. Let's get into it.
So here is a mind-bending paradox for you. What if the greatest, most famous tomb in human history was actually completely empty? I mean, we're talking about Pharaoh Khufu's massive, monumental resting place. And yet, despite all the searching, his mummy has never been definitively found inside. Not a single solitary trace of the king himself. How is it even possible that the greatest structure of the ancient world is missing its most important occupant? Well, to understand the sheer scale of this mystery, we first need to look at what we're actually dealing with.
4,500 years. That is how long the Great Pyramid has been standing guard over Egypt. Commissioned way back during the Old Kingdom's 4th dynasty by Pharaoh Khufu himself, this absolute marvel of engineering held on to the title of the tallest human-made structure in the world for nearly 4 millennia. I mean, nobody topped it until the Eiffel Tower finally came along in the 19th century. And just to wrap our heads around the physical scale of this behemoth, 2.6 million. That's the volume in cubic meters. The pyramid was meticulously constructed from roughly 2.3 million individual limestone blocks, and on average, each one of those weighs 2.5 tons. And honestly, some of the granite stones inside weigh even more than that. It's an almost incomprehensible feat of human logistics.
Now, for the longest time, there was this persistent myth that slave labor built the pyramids. But, modern archaeology has totally busted that wide open. It actually took an incredible 100,000 highly skilled workers to build this marvel. Excavations have uncovered authentic workers' villages right nearby, proving this was a remarkably organized workforce operating in rotating shifts. These were respected, well-fed laborers using advanced critical path analysis and management to build an absolute wonder of the world.
Which brings us right to the core mystery. We know for a fact they built it for Khufu. High up in the dark, hidden relieving chambers above the king's chamber, those ancient workers actually left graffiti. They painted phrases like, "Friends of Khufu." An archaeologist even found the famous Khufu cartouche, which is basically a set of hieroglyphs spelling out his name. The circumstantial evidence is absolutely overwhelming. They left their names, they left their tools, they left their masterpiece. But where on earth is the king? Because that giant granite sarcophagus sitting right in the center of the pyramid, it's completely empty. So, where did he go? Well, historians generally debate 3 main hypotheses. The first, and definitely the most accepted by mainstream Egyptologists, is systemic ancient looting. The incredible, dazzling wealth buried with a pharaoh was a massive target, so it's highly likely the tomb was violently ransacked during some period of political instability. Second option, his body might have been relocated for safekeeping by later priests who were desperately trying to protect him from those exact robbers. And third, there's this really tantalizing theory that the Great Pyramid was actually just a giant decoy tomb all along, and Khufu is safely buried somewhere else. Because historians didn't have a physical body to study, scientists decided it was finally time to look deeper, but this time without moving a single stone.
Welcome to Archaeology 2.0. Over the last decade or so, a massive international mission called Scan Pyramids started using entirely non-destructive, non-invasive technology to peer straight through the stones. And the escalation of discoveries here is just breathtaking. In 2016, they spotted a weird thermal anomaly near the north face. By 2017, they found something massive. By 2023, they actually managed to get a camera inside one of these hidden spaces. And just recently, late in 2025, they found even more voids in a neighboring pyramid.
So how exactly are they pulling this off? It's all thanks to a truly breakthrough science called muography. Essentially, researchers set up these highly specialized plates and detectors inside and around the pyramid to catch muons. Muons are basically harmless cosmic particles constantly raining down from space. They pass through empty air perfectly fine, but they get absorbed or deflected when they hit really dense rock. By carefully measuring how many particles actually make it through to the detectors, scientists can map out hidden, air-filled voids deep inside the pyramid with incredible precision. And that brings us to the discovery that absolutely shocked the world in 2017. Using that muography technique, they officially confirmed the existence of what they call the Big Void. We're talking about a massive airplane-sized cavity over 30 meters, that's nearly 100 feet long, sitting right there, directly above the Grand Gallery. It even has a very similar cross-section to the gallery below it. The actual purpose of this void? Completely unknown and fiercely debated.
Is it just a structural relieving chamber to take the crushing weight off the ceiling below? Is it a secret internal construction ramp? Or could it be a completely undiscovered, intact burial chamber?
But wait, it didn't stop there. Remember that 2016 anomaly near the entrance I mentioned? Well, in 2023, scientists miraculously managed to slip a tiny 6mm endoscope through a minuscule joint in the masonry right behind the original entrance. And in doing so, they visually confirmed the existence of the North Face corridor. They actually captured real video footage inside an 8.6-meter-long, sloped, air-filled corridor that literally hadn't seen the light of day in 4,500 years. It was a massive win, because it proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that mugography really works and that this pyramid is still hiding physical spaces.
And this technology, it's spreading fast. In November of 2025, the Scan Pyramids team announced they had successfully detected brand new hidden air-filled voids just 1.13 meters behind the massive polished granite casing of the nearby Menkaure Pyramid's eastern face. That strongly suggests the existence of totally sealed monumental entrances sitting just inches out of sight. You guys, we are quite literally just scratching the surface of what these structures still hold.
But what if we've been looking in the wrong place this entire time? What if the real ultimate secret isn't actually up inside the pyramid itself, but hiding 600 meters directly beneath our feet? Fast forward to March 2025. An interdisciplinary research team led by Corrado Malanga, Filippo Biondi, and Armando May released some staggering, honestly almost sci-fi-like claims based on very advanced radar data. The dimensions they're proposing are just wild. They claim their radar picked up 8 vertical, cylindrical shafts, dropping an insane 648 meters deep, completely wrapped in spiral access ramps. At the very bottom, they claim to see twin 80-meter cavernous cubic chambers, and get this, each one is large enough to fit a 20-story building. And they suggest all of this is connected by a sprawling 2-kilometer underground network running beneath all 3 major Giza pyramids. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is balancing those revolutionary claims against current established science. On one hand, the 2025 radar survey suggests this wildly advanced ancient infrastructure exists down there, which would completely shatter and shift our entire understanding of human history and engineering. On the other hand, mainstream archaeology fiercely criticizes these claims. Experts are quick to point out that this radar data is unverified, it was unpublished in peer-reviewed journals at the time of the announcement, and it entirely lacks the hard, proven confirmation of established techniques like muon radiography. Now, in this explainer, we aren't here to pick a side. We're simply here to show you that the Giza Plateau remains the ultimate, thrilling battleground for archaeological truth. And you know, to really anchor us back to reality, we have to remember the words of the renowned Egyptologist Zahi Hawass. He was talking about that ancient graffiti left by the actual workers up inside the pyramid, and he said it's almost impossible that someone in modern times could have forged something like this. He points out that you literally have to climb 14 meters and squeeze through impossibly narrow, dark spaces just to reach those hidden chambers. It is such a powerful reminder of the undeniable, verified human sweat, organization, and sheer brilliance that absolutely did build these spectacular structures 4,500 years ago. So, where do we go from here? Well, the coming years promise some seriously thrilling next steps in this ongoing investigation. By 2027, there are actual plans in place to carefully drill a tiny hole and guide an endoscopic camera directly into that massive 30-meter big void. We might finally actually see what is hiding inside. Meanwhile, the entire academic world is on the edge of its seat waiting for the rigorous peer review of that explosive 2025 radar data. And, of course, the continued expansive use of non-destructive testing across the whole Giza Plateau. I mean it, we are closer than ever to real, tangible answers. Which leaves us with one final, totally undeniable question to ponder. Between the verified voids hidden right behind the walls and the highly debated radar scans deep beneath the earth, are we literally inches away from finally unlocking Pharaoh Khufu's ultimate secret? Or is the Great Pyramid, the ultimate empty wonder, simply going to quietly guard its mysteries for another 4 millennia? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you on the next one.